Well, Alexa was spot on. Pricing, government contracting. Enough is enough. I recently was on TikTok Live and put a poll up asking what topic should I cover here on YouTube. Everyone voted. This is what we're covering. So we are here to talk all about pricing. So get ready. So get ready is all I can say. Excuse me. What's up, Bella? What's up, Chip? Aloha, everyone. I'm so grateful that you're here. So grateful. I'm so appreciative. We have a lot to cover. Okay? Are you all ready? Yes, we are definitely getting busy. Getting busy like a bee. Thank you, Warrior. Thank you all. I appreciate every single one of you. And please feel free to share with the community. Let them know I'm on live. Please feel free to do so. I put a poll up on TikTok asking what topic to cover. And this topic won. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to first begin with staffing. So where I started out. When I first started out in 2007, I was a full-time equivalent for the Air Force. The company I subcontracted to, EHS, as well as JHT and HRT. These are all three. There was another one too. What they would do, and thank you so much for the comments. You know, hair is popping. I'm feeling good. I got about 35 more pounds to go for my goal weight. And so what they would do is they would charge an hourly rate and then pay me a flat fee. Okay. That's what they would do. So we're going to talk about staffing because staffing is one of the best places to make money. And I'm going to answer all your questions. Okay. So we're not playing around. Oops. Well, apparently I'm playing around. I hit the camera button. I was so excited that I hit the camera button. So what I have before you, I'm going to increase it. And I want you all to keep in mind that this is a little older. Okay. So the numbers, the tax rates may be different, but we're not kidding around. I'm here, you know, enough is enough. People talk about pricing. They want you to go behind a paywall or they don't really know what they're talking about. So we're talking about pricing for staffing. Okay. So let's say you are interested in an opportunity. So this is an opportunity that was for medical case managers in the state of Kentucky. And this was a company that we were partnering with. So this would be the annual salary for that person, their hourly rate, the number of holidays. They apparently didn't do sick leave. And also, as you're doing this, because you may look at this and feel overwhelmed. And I want you to just let that go. You felt overwhelmed the first time, maybe you were on YouTube, or the first time you drove. Feeling overwhelmed just means you're learning. That's all it means, okay? So just work with me. Go with me on this. So then you have workers' comp. So for this situation, it's 3 people who would work for you as employees. When you have employees, there's worker comp. With the example, when I first started out and I was a subcontractor, that's called a 1099. A person fills out a W-9 and you do not pay workers comp. They are not considered an employee. Okay. Yes. Arela, we have our ISO 9001. Yeah. I feel like we got it. We got it during COVID. It was like a very unique situation. It was like 2019. No. Yeah, it was. It was after my surgery. It was like 2019. Yeah, we have that. Good. I'm glad you're releasing it. Let me make sure. Okay. So workers' comp, this is, you get this percentage. Just like this, you get these percentages. These are all percentages that this prime contractor pulled. You easily get them online. And then they did a 401k 3% match. Their dental, their employee assistance programs. I'm not trying to put people's names out there. Sorry about that. Life insurance, etc. So what I want you to do is not get caught up in the weeds. I want you to get caught up in the fact that you are looking at the annual salary. Here's what we would pay: $59,638.18. And based on all of the expenses, benefits, vacation, sick, payroll costs, and fringe, just different expenses you have doing different benefits. Payroll costs could be ADP, we have a fee. I have to pay my team member to do payroll, general and administrative, any kind of overhead that you may have, rent, or maybe the timekeeping system, and then profit. And I want you to look at this. What percentage do you guys see as profit? What do you see here as the percentage for profit? And thank you all for being here. And in case you're new to my channel, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. I've been awarded over $50 million in federal government contracts. What do you see as the profit? If somebody could write that in the chat, that would be good. Okay, does anybody see the profit that's listed here? The live is only on YouTube. It's only on YouTube. Thank you. 1%. Okay, so 1%. Thank you, Aaron. So I'll zoom in a little more, and also keep in mind these numbers are a little older, but it's the math that we're focused on. 1%. Yes, thank you all. Thank you. 1%. Now you may be thinking, oh my goodness, all of this effort for 1%? Well, if you have 100 people and you're making 1%, that may make sense for you. The restaurant industry tends to make maybe a 3% profit, a 5% profit. So I emphasize this. It does not mean this is necessarily a profit that you should enter. For this particular contract, it was lowest cost technically acceptable. And I bring this up because I'm always asked, like, well, Kizzy, how do you do pricing? How do you do pricing? How do you do pricing? How do I price the lawn service? Where do I put my profit? How do I price staffing? At the end of the day, it boils down to what are the evaluation criteria? So for this, it's lowest cost. It was lowest cost technically acceptable. So if you add a 30% profit, you might as well not even submit. You're going to be outside of the range. But the more and more you win, yeah, the percentage is 1%, but 1% is better than zero. Anything times zero is zero. And these are all numbers you can change. These are all numbers you can change, just like the G&A and overhead can be changed. Any kind of fees can be changed. So then what you see here at the end is now you have an idea. It went from, okay, we're paying $28.67, but we are billing the government 30. Is that the second one? Let me make sure. Yeah, but we are billing the government $39.62. And this was for an actual opportunity that I'd partnered with a firm on many years ago. We did not win because we were not the lowest, believe it or not. So this is the pricing we submitted. So again, you pay the employee $28.67, you bill the government $39.62, you're making your 40 cents per hour. That's staffing in a nutshell with the federal government. Okay. I don't recall if this had wage determination, to be quite honest with you. Sometimes that does come up. So Poverty Czar, thank you so much. I know you were not the lowest, said in that Maury Povich race. We were not. We weren't at all. And thank you, Stevenson's, for asking about the document. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. So I don't have an answer. I'm not here to BS you. We're talking about pricing government contracts. Enough is enough. I don't know, but what I do know is I have some other formulas for you, some other ways for you to look at staffing. So we're looking at staffing, we're going to look at escalation, and we're going to look at more of the typical middleman. Does this work for everyone? If this works for every single one of you that's here, just type yes. Okay. And that family adventures, I don't really know how I'm going to handle the template. Okay. Just being honest with you. I don't know. I just, based on the hours, depends on the hours, how many hours they work. And so thank you all for being here. Okay, good. Thank you all for being patient with me. Thank you all for pouring into yourself. Okay, we have a lot to cover today. We have a lot. So let's see here. What I'm going to bring up for you it's called a wrap rate calculator. So when you're doing staffing, they typically, people will talk about, well, what's your wrap rate? It's still the wrap rate. There's some ads on here, so it just is how it is. So let's take part of that example, if I may. It was 20, 28, and then 39. Let's just round it. $28, and then the rate charge would be 39. So your wrap rate is 1.39. So 1.39 times 28 equals 39. So then anytime that you are billing for hourly, that this is what your wrap rate is. So then that way you don't have to do all the math. This is the easy way once you figure out kind of your percentages. So run with me. Let's say you're bidding on an engineer and you're like, oh my gosh, the engineer is going to cost $100 an hour. This is an opportunity in California. We're going to have to pay them a high rate. And you're like, and so based on all of our fees, because it's California, actually, I don't know. I have to work it backwards. Hold on. My example's not working exactly well. I just realized I'm like, that's not how the math works. Hold off, you guys. I was running with the example, then I was like, no, that's not right. My point is twofold. One, you can take that 1.39? Hold on, let me do some math. Let me do it on my calculator. So I was so excited, and then I was like, that is not mathing, Kizzy. Okay, so let's say $36, and then you're paying $68.40. Pause with that. It's a little higher. Hold on, 36. Was it 1.39? So I did my math. 54. There we go. Okay. So it was 1.39 before, right? So then you automatically know if somebody's like, oh, I need $36 an hour, you multiply it by your wrap rate. So then you always know this is how much I charge. Okay. Then you always know that's how much you charge. And it's in the, I'll put the thing up here. It's a free website. It does have a ton of ads on here. So I'm going to stop sharing, but I'll give you guys the link. But I want to also caution you when it comes to the wrap rate. Because when I was first starting out, people were always like, what's your wrap rate, Kizzy? What's your wrap rate? I mean, I had no idea. I'm not going to lie to you. I had no idea what my wrap rate was. I was not fiscally responsible. I'm not going to BS you. That's why this says pricing government contracts, enough is enough. And what I learned is what I learned in that Excel sheet right here. Okay, I'm going to share it with you one more time. When I was working with this company and I said to them, your profit is 1%, And they said, yeah, Kizzy, because in order for us to win, we have to decrease our profit. So then, therefore, they didn't always have the same wrap rate. Because take, for instance, an opportunity we recently bid on with the FAA. It is not lowest price. These are very high level positions. So my wrap rate's not going to be 1.39. My profit's not going to be 1% because this is business. This is business. A phone case may yield a 50% profit. Meanwhile, a pen may yield a 1% profit. Does it mean that you can't sell both? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means you're aware that some things give you more profit than others. Or let me give you a better example. Let's say you sell customized phone cases. Maybe you're able to 4x your return when they're customized. Same thing, maybe you make a little tweak 4 times. But when they're not customized, maybe your profit's a 1x. So it's just something to think about as you're doing this, especially when we're talking about staffing. And this should be saved. This is a really good question. How do you find the staff? Let's go into that. I appreciate the offer, Michael. I sincerely appreciate this. I mean, y'all, I may cry because, we're on the verge of the eclipse and today's been a day for me. And I truly do appreciate this, but I am eating OMAD keto. So, yeah, no, I just can't eat it. If you have coffee, but I appreciate it. I was that little girl teased in life and went through a lot of things, and to have so many of you just welcome me and be so loving, it really means the world to me. Whether it's catfish or you send me a nice message. But don't forget, I got those haters too. So as wise as enough is enough. Somebody recently, but I ain't gonna go there. Yeah, Angela, we're going to save it. Okay. We definitely have this saved. Okay. Oh, I love you all. Y'all are so sweet. So let me talk about how you find people. And then I'll also go to the other resources. So right before I talk about how you find people, this is really vital because we lost a lot of money. You want to make sure you identify all of your expenses with a person when it comes to an employee. So for instance, we had an employee in the great state of Pennsylvania. Oops, there it was down here. Thank you, the content of Corey, for understanding my plight with OMAD keto. And he lived in Pennsylvania. I think he lived outside of Philly. And in case you're like, why do you have on a bowling mitt? That's what some people call it. I worked in a call center that was once featured on Undercover Boss, and I would work so many hours that I got carpal tunnel. I don't have nerve damage, but when I'm doing a lot of computer work, I always wear it. I have so many of these things. So, okay. So the thing is, I was cute. My dad would always say, like, Kizzy, are you trying to be cute? Why don't you have a jacket on? It's cold outside. And so we decided to do our payroll just through paychecks. A team member that I had that I poured a lot into, I thought I could rely on him. And I turned over my power, and I didn't think I knew what I was doing. And he's like, Kizzy, I'm just going to do payroll. I can do it so fast on paychecks. Well, yeah, whatever. So what ended up happening was this employee lived in a county in Pennsylvania that had a unique tax. We never incorporated the tax for an entire year, and then he got hit with a bill. We didn't know because at that time, paychecks, they calculated it based on what we entered. And so we then moved to paychecks. We're now at ADP. I just strongly suggest for those of you that are going into this staffing, going into this payroll world, that you use a company that does this for you, because especially when you don't have employees in your home state. And I vote in Miami Beach. We don't have state tax. Okay. So be aware of that. That's why it's key that you identify what are all of these fees. Some people have a rule of thumb where they'll double the rate, where if they're paying a person 28, then they would double the 28. Everybody's different because at the end of the day, it's about the evaluation criteria. I love that Paychex called you. If it works, cool. So let me break it down for you. Luxury card store. Employees, you're running payroll. You get like a W-2 at the end of the year. So if you want to offer them benefits, the example I gave you, they offered benefits. We offer benefits at KPC. A 1099 is not, said like Maury, it is Maury Povich, not an employee. A 1099 is like an Uber driver. It's like a lot of the Amazon delivery. It's like, I think what happens with, is Instacart still a thing? Instacart or Grubhub, right? They're not an employee. They are an independent contractor. So you don't have to, there's nothing that you're paying into. There's no benefits. Okay. These are great questions. So the earlier question came up, where do you find these people? Oh, Yusuf, you are so sweet. This really means a lot to me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm working really hard on my health, y'all. Working really hard. Like I said, I got 35 pounds to go. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Soon I'll be in the numbers where I'm just like, oh, I'm like, this is stressing me out. Okay. Stevenson, where do you find the workers? There's a couple places you can go. First and foremost, Indeed.com. Now, hold up, y'all. I got to push it back. This is why it's so important to make sure your business is a legally established business. You have all of your fees paid. You have your tax ID documents. You have your business license. Of course, you need a cage code. But the reason for it is because in order to post jobs on Indeed.com, you will run into this. They're going to ask you, because what do scammers do? They will often post jobs on job boards. So this is a way to help minimize that. So this is really important. Very, very important. So you have Indeed. You could use a Craigslist, an Angie's List. You could use Facebook Marketplace. You could tell your friends and family. You could pay a recruiter. Early on, what I would do is I would go on Indeed. I don't know if they still offer this feature, but you could pay to look at people's resumes. So I would do like a reverse search and look for people who are like open to jobs. And that's actually how I found one of our graphic designers, Mike. I reached out to him. He was amazing. He was a good fit. He ended up working for us maybe a couple of years. And then, the government ended up hiring him. That's the other side of this on the state level too, is that the federal government may hire these people. So this is something for you to be aware of, because it could mean that they then take away this position, or it could mean that they just want you to replace the person. But either way, to me, it's a blessing, because the federal government is the only place where you can get a pension. And we had this happen with the state of Florida too. So these are great questions. Why would you need a business license? Well, in some states and cities and counties, you do. So for instance, in Brevard County, they like for you to have a professional business license. I don't remember the fee. I think for KPC, we have a city and a county, and then for the joint ventures, we just have the city. So it's like a certificate, like you see for nail techs. That's what they require. Every place is different. Dr. Parks, I will vote for you. Oh, that's so sweet of you, Mo. Jasmine, I do use Indeed and LinkedIn Recruiter since I use LinkedIn Recruiter. Okay, that's perfect. Here's the other tip. Y'all get ready for this. If you're into writing things down, write this down. Type it. Get ready. This is major. So you remember, just to refresh everyone's memory. So this was an opportunity I was partnering on with a firm. for these case managers. Case manager, and then the support supervisor. Those 3 people were already there. So we didn't need to get resumes. We didn't need to conduct interviews. They were already there. So it was just a matter of the agency determining which company to go with, who was the lowest priced. That's who they decided to go with. And then what happens is they're badged over. That's what we call it. Badging over means they go from company XYZ to company ABC. And during that process, you interview them and then you learn from the agency, do they still want these 3 people? Maybe they're like, yeah, the medical case manager's cool. The supervisor's cool, but the other case manager, I don't know, you may want to replace them. And these are real things that have happened throughout my 10 plus years in this space. So instead of thinking, oh, it's staffing, I need to rush and start posting job postings, you don't always need to do this. And this is true on both the federal and the state level. Every position is different. And I love Sonia, you brought up ZipRecruiter. There's a lot. We've hired a headhunter. I interviewed Robert Half, and I actually used Robert Half to find our internal finance manager. Lloyd, and for everyone else watching, you find them at the state level. You can put in staffing, temporary staffing. On the federal level, the NAICS are under staffing, temporary staffing, professional services. The religious ones, I've said it, I'll say it again because you know enough is enough. These people out there coming for me. Very interesting. Love and light always prevails. Religious staffing, you can put the religious code in. Sometimes it's under admin. They're under a variety of NAICS codes, especially with positions, departments. Yeah. Okay, here's some more questions. Do you have someone manage your contracts? Yes. They get paid well. I don't feel comfortable sharing. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't feel comfortable sharing their salary. So I'll give you a range of salaries that people pay in this space. People typically will pay maybe on the low end 75 all the way up to maybe 325 a year, depending on the contracts. I have a setup where my amazing team member Lori manages multiple contracts. My mentor had it siloed where she had, I think they were vice presidents, and they managed contracts under different verticals. So one was under training, one was under like what she considered blue collar, one was under white collar. I think one was under the document processing. And so sometimes people will have an overall contract manager, maybe pay them 99, 125, and they manage the contracts. And then sometimes the person, like with our team, we have Lori does both, but we also have a team member who specializes in contracting. In the very beginning, you want to know, who do you think managed all the contracts, everyone? Who do you think managed all the contracts when I first started out? And I know there's a bit of a lag. So to not lose your engagement, it was this one. Yes, Nikki Smart. It was me. I did everything I did. And I want to emphasize this because when you're ready to hire, definitely hire or outsource. But don't think like you got to out the gate. You have to have an office and business cards. I don't know, people use business cards, and you have to have a contract manager, a program manager. When I first started out, my mentor and everybody was like, Kizzy, virtual is nice. This is 07, 08. And they were getting on me because I was all about virtual. It's very nice, but there's something special about being in person. And you really need an office. You really need this big office building. And some of them would drive me around Orlando. Like, you see this building over here of this company and this company, you really should look into that. And I just remember feeling like, I don't want that. I was like, I didn't come this far to start a business so everybody works in an office building. Hold on a second. That everybody works in an office building and hates me. She's my best friend. What can I say? So my point is, you have to do what works for you as a business owner. Period. That's what you have to do. Okay. And I know there's amazing questions. I'm going to get all to these questions because there's so many good questions. And then I'm going to go back. So I'm going to go low for the comments and go back up. How did you keep contracts when you were a solopreneur? I didn't. I mean, I didn't really keep track of them. Just being honest, I didn't. Okay. Thank you for answering anytime. In regards to Pi, how do you set up a CAM to submit invoices? Okay, so what you have to do in Pi is make sure you follow the instructions for submitting your invoice. So are you in Pi Corporate Hustler, and did you follow the instructions in your proposal? Yeah, Alexa, do play. I know it's bid, but waiting on some of these contractors to get back with you with quotes blow my mind. I don't know how they stay in business, seriously. Your words, David. That's why this is pricing government contracts. Enough is enough. I mean, I get it. You know, and also I have to say, I haven't responded to everybody's emails. So some of y'all may think like, dang, don't she want my business? Doesn't she want to coach me? So I understand both sides of it, you know, and also, yeah, I would love to coach you if it works out. But, you know, it's sometimes we just have to be patient. That's it. That's all I'm saying. But I understand, David. I understand. Angela, Dr. Parks, yeah, haters do see something special in me and in all of you here. They don't know how to say they admire you. They don't. Like what Cardi said, you know, she put it best. It's like they all come together and do weird things. It's like there's no reason for this. There's $800 billion in this space. And to do the things that they do, and I'm very high vibrational, I take the high road. I didn't always now. Don't forget, Arthur Parks raised me. So, however, comma, I'm not here for that. You know, people don't understand. People don't understand this is bigger than going live on YouTube or having a YouTube channel or trying to get somebody to buy something you offer. This is about providing love and light and inspiration and motivation. Because my goal, my mission is to provide love, light, financial abundance, motivation via my content, products, and services to 1 billion people and help people manifest and actualize their personal, family, and financial goals. These are my goals, period. And I like to incorporate other things. I'm not right now because it's in the other room. Sometimes I incorporate my oracle cards, and I definitely am psychic. Whether you believe it or not, that's up to you. But I am your psychic government contracting friend. Want to ask, is it more contract? Yeah, there are on catering. Okay, let's keep it moving. How much to charge hourly as a security guard? Okay, this is great. This allows us to shift to another screen. And I hope this link comes through. Now, I just want to let you know, I'm unsure if we're going to see the security guard labor category, but you are going to see something grandiose. The GSA schedule is like a centralized place. Let me move that, excuse me. A centralized place where businesses have been vetted, like we're on 2 schedules. So we've been vetted, our pricing, our background, and they said, yes, you're put on this schedule. And it's kind of like a fast way for the government to buy. So what this site has done is taken all of the data from all of us business owners who are on the schedule to then provide information about pricing. So I'm going to show you more here in 1 second. Okay. It's a long link. So this is, and you can see that it says, when I show it again, it says beta. So always be very patient with government websites. Okay. These are not Google. These are government websites. So we're going to type in, let's just type in admin, administrative assistant. So they're telling you -1 standard deviation +1 standard deviation that they have found for this labor category. It ranges from $38.53. This is, I believe, what represents the billable rate. Billable rate. So going back to what we talked about earlier in the video, billable means all of the fees. It doesn't mean what they're paying the admin. They may be paying the admin $21 an hour, and then the rest are all their fees. So it's $38 on the low end, 81 on the high end, average is 59. I already know what you're thinking without you even typing. You're thinking, well, how do I bill that 81? That's what you're thinking, right? If that's what you're thinking, you can type yes. And at the end of the day, the way you're able to bid or bill up to the 81 is through experience or education for the position. And then here's what's cool. As you can see, Nature's Image Inc., this company, they bill $71.27. That means this is the most amount of money that they will charge per hour for that labor position. And I also want to show you, you can click that link and see their actual schedule. Oh, thank you so much, David. So I clicked the link and I'm showing you the schedule. And let me go to David. I appreciate you so much for doing this. And I also want to say, definitely a faster way to get your questions answered is if you include some money, just because there's so many. I'm not trying to be, I'm just letting you know, this is not about like, yeah, y'all need to pay me. And then, I'm just keeping it real. If that way it pops up. Okay. So I clicked the link and then the link took me to their GSA schedule. There it is. I was like, where did the page go? Took me to their GSA schedule. So you see everything about this company. You have their name, their phone number. You have what they provide. And then what's going to happen is here at the bottom, they will start to talk about their pricing. So you can see, are these positions on-site, off-site? How did they define these positions? Right here, right? And then if you're ever like, man, I need to hire a senior manager, I don't even know what to write. Yes, there's ChatGPT. You can also pull from somebody's GSA schedule. So you can start to dig in there to see everything just by going on that link. So it's a very, very valuable link. You can look up a wide variety of labor categories because the question is, well, I don't even know what to charge. I don't even know what to pay someone. Another way you look, and I'll pull this up for everyone here. I don't think that's on. What I'm doing is I'm typing in administrative assistant, New Orleans. So sometimes you back in the pricing. So you can see that for the Department of Justice, and this is more than likely, it might be, you never know. This could be a government contractor. It could be the actual federal government. We would have to dig more in here to see, because believe it or not, Department of Justice, they have contracts where contractors provide these type of positions. How do I know? Because my mentor, Barbara, had those type of contracts, and the company who purchased her business, they have those now. So you can see that in New Orleans, the range is 39 to 57. Now, let's say this is actually a federal job. That's completely fine. We can see, does it say USA? Okay, so usastaffing.gov. So although this is a federal position, this particular one, you still have an idea. Okay, that's what it's going for. Okay, and then I don't think they posted their pay. I don't think they posted their, well, you have a little Indeed information here. And then you also, what's cool is when you look at these, you have an idea of what they are asking for in these positions. Because this is more than just, well, what do I price? What do you price? How do you find these people? How do you keep the people? What kind of benefits? How do you remain competitive? Because when it comes to pricing and staffing, you have to be able to retain everyone or you're not going to get paid. Why would an agency pay you if the administrative slot isn't full? Neo, I'm going to talk more than just staffing. This pricing and what I'm talking about applies across the board, specifically with staffing, but it applies across the board, and I'll show you how. Harish, just put your question in here. What's your question? Put it here. You got me here. Pay $10. Put your question. Okay. So, and that's also why I'm going to start a school account soon. I probably get 100 to 200 DMs a day. There's no way. I can't keep up with that. So we're going to have a school account soon. Yeah, it's a good place. And that's what I was showing, Alan. It was coming from that. Okay. So let's say it's a 1099 position. Okay, let's say it's janitorial. And let's say they say, you know what? It's going to be $21 an hour. Here's what I would do. This is me. I wouldn't pay a janitorial person. I probably wouldn't pay a snow removal, a lawn service. I wouldn't pay any of those people hourly. Maybe controversial, but walk with me here. Have you all had this experience? I had this experience on both ends. I did this and I experienced it. So sometimes you reap what you sow. Hey, Kizzy, well, we're going to pay you time and a half if you stay over. Well, then I'm going to milk it. That's what I did. I told y'all I'm now high vibrational. I'm grown. And so I would milk it because you're paying me time and a half. So maybe I worked slower. Maybe I made my calls last longer. Maybe I went to the bathroom more times. Because now you're paying me hourly. Now, change that mindset of, oh, well, Kizzy, we're going to pay you $3,000 a flat rate every month, regardless. Shoot, I'm getting that stuff. I'm going to be efficient. I'm going to be so efficient. They're going to think I'm a walking AI. That's how I would approach janitorial, snow removal, a lot of those kind of services. I would say, listen, I will give you, and you do the math, you work their numbers, right? You may say, listen, I'm going to give you $700 every month. And in exchange, you need to clean, and then maybe you charge the government $1,000 a month. That's $12,000. That's very reasonable for janitorial services. You're still pocketing $300. And you may say, but, oh, good, Richard, thank you. You may say, but Kizzy, $300. Do you all know the average amount that people who own real estate that we make per door? It's anywhere from $200 to $300 a door. So that's nothing to sneeze at. But what you get is you get commitment. You don't get people trying to milk it, or people just feeling like, oh, this sucks. I got to clean this building and I'm only going to get like, let me do the math. Okay. And then it just feels icky. It feels really icky. So that's an approach that's viable. Okay. So, hold on. Richard, super chat. How do you price and submit a bid with your fee for management services with the government, with the BPA? Okay, so Richard, let me share you. I would use a derivative of this because it has G&A in it. You see the G&A? And here's the other thing about a blanket purchase agreement, Richard. Let me move the question. Well, I don't know how you move that or move me. Let me take the question off and put it back on. I'm learning my restream. So here's what I suggest is with a blanket purchase agreement. Here, let me stop sharing for a second so we can have both. Okay, perfect. And thank you so much, Richard. For your management service fee for your management services, put that in there. Put that under your G&A. And when it comes to a blanket purchase agreement, what is the so you said management services. So is this for a labor category? Is it a line item? Just give me more information. Just put that in here. G&A, general and administrative. General and administrative fees are like things that are not connected to the particular thing. Rent, other stupid things. Sorry. I feel a little, so somebody's a little impacted by this upcoming eclipse I see. A lot of office fees, things of that nature. But I go back to when you say management, the services, when you talk about management services fee, what does that mean? Like I would need to know. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. G&A, general and administrative. Tawana, oh, awesome. It's up to you. I like religion, but everyone is different. Okay. The government is asking to manage one of their services accounts. Okay. If you can put the link in here on a one call basis, for example, I would need to see the bid to see what it refers to. Or if you don't feel comfortable putting it here, I understand. You can email me. Listen, I'll get back. Okay, where is my email? Oh my goodness, everybody. Okay, you can email it to me. They want a contractor to manage so this is a state contract. They want a contractor to manage their Easy Pass accounts. Okay, so then they want a management fee. So the management fee would be based on all of your expenses and your profit that's needed for whoever to manage the Easy Pass. Is it one person that's managing it? Is it multiple people? And then what are all your expenses? What are all the expenses that go into it? And then you add your fee to it. So for instance, is that a human being? Is it that you're hiring a Easy Pass account coordinator? So I'll let that simmer. Is this in Florida? Is this like a East Coast thing? Okay, that's an example. Okay. Thank you, Stevenson. That's so sweet from this lady. I love it. Somebody said this lady, didn't they? No. I said Lise. The content of Corey, I'll cover this and then I'm going to go back up because there was a lot of questions. So to recap, when you're doing pricing, okay, thank you, Richard. When you're doing pricing for employees, for staffing, Kizzy Parks, Dr. Kizzy Parks, I refer to any time a human being is doing something, what's up, Antonio, as staffing. I don't care if it says they're printing CAC cards, common access or CACs. I remember Dr. Crepeau was always like, it's not a CAC card, Kizzy, it's a CAC. It's common access card. Card is in the name. Okay. And I do have one in my wallet. So Even if somebody's being paid to process CACs, common access card, it doesn't matter. To me, just Kizzy lingo, anytime a human being is doing something, it's staffing. So if you're going to have the human being as an employee, you want to make sure you identify all of your expenses. If you're going to have that human being or the subcontractor or the middleman or the company or the vendor as a 1099, you still need to identify all of your expenses. And then accordingly for both, you put on your profit. Just basic, bare bone basic. So Hector and for everyone else, the markup varies. For some opportunities, we have 100%. Some it's negative. Some it's been 3. Maybe it's 1. It all varies. That's what we've done. I'm not saying everything I've done has been amazing. So I'm just saying some, and when it comes to more of the middleman subcontracting out, typically anywhere from 5 to 25% has a pretty good win rate. Okay. So on the employee side, sometimes the profit's a little lower. Then to add to all of this, I've noticed with state level gigs, they will want a percentage. So they may say to you, we're looking for lifeguards. We're looking for, let me see if I can quickly pull this up. It might be in here. If I can pull this up, I'll show you all. Yeah, it's at the bottom. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to show this to you. And it represents pay rate, entry, experience, and then the markup. Okay. Okay. I'm going to share this briefly. So this is a state level contract where we are a sub. So for an accounts auditor on the low end, they're paid $20.97. On the high end, they're paid $41, and the markup is 23%. So regardless of what they're paid, the markup is 23%. This is a very common practice on the state and local side. So then what you have to do is back your numbers in. Meaning your general and administrative, your overhead, your fringe, your profit better be within that 23%, or this is not worth you doing. Does this make sense? Definitely this document and others, I share more. I do share more privately just because it's active work that we have, but I just wanted to show you a snapshot. But did that make sense? Right. And thank you, Alan. There is no rule of thumb. It's like a Birkin bag. What is the markup of a Birkin bag? I don't know. You can probably Google. I think it's 80%. I don't know. Somebody may want to look it up. Does that mean the purse at Target should have an 80% markup? I don't know. Maybe the purse at Target has an 80% markup too. They're both handbags and do the same thing at the end of the day. But I know I am. I'm more interested in dropping 100 G's on a Birkin bag than getting 100,000 or 50,000 Target bags. If that makes sense. My math may have been a little off on that, but you know what I mean. Restream, and then you can now on YouTube Live, which I love you, YouTube, so much. You can also do screen sharing on YouTube. I just haven't used it yet. And also because I like to be transparent, I have to set up my camera. I really haven't done that yet. So I got to start adding that. Okay. How do you get a CPARS? How do you get the non-GSA scheduler to be part of it? Nikki, you usually get a CPAR by having a contract that's over $1 million or meets the requirements for a CPAR. It's not always $1 million. It's just the requirement of the CPAR. What would the markup be for products? So a vet, this is a really good question. So we want to contract with Maxwell Air Force Base for Oculus headsets. We found the pricing on Amazon. We didn't really care about the shipping because we already pay shipping as far as other projects that we work on. So I think we added 15-20% to the price of the Oculus headsets. For the products, the same things apply. What are the evaluation criteria? And also, I don't know if you all follow me on TikTok. I am on TikTok. And on Monday through Thursday, I go live. And whenever he's available, Lulu, his real name is Jonathan. He is an active contracting officer in the Air Force, and he represents himself on my lives. He said something very important. He said, Kizzy, he's like, look, if there's an opportunity, and let's say it's lawn maintenance, and the vendor's price is higher, but they're offering a certain type of mower, or they're doing something very unique that's going to speed things up. He's like, yeah, we may pay more. He's like, but when it's iPads, he's like, it's an iPad. Like, I'm not going to be paying more for an iPad. So I think that's some of the most valuable advice he's given. He's given a lot of advice. He also shared when it comes to contracting, and that often people have this kind of, we have the mindset that we received growing up, and in that he grew up in a very rural community in Illinois, and he was talking about people have this like blue collar mentality. He's like, they're blue collar, so they think you have to be paid hourly. See, that's why I'm about a flat fee. I grew up very rural, but I've overcome this blue collar mentality. He's like, so people get caught up in how much do I charge an hour? How much do I get paid an hour? Where's my profit in the hour? Of course, you have to run your numbers and do your math. And if they're an employee, understood. But for these other things like products, if somebody's a vendor, if somebody's 1099, and you can do creative relationships, you can pay somebody monthly. You can pay them quarterly. You can pay them per deliverable. You know, when I worked at DeVry University, I was a contractor. And I got paid, I think, at the end of the school year of that term. When I worked at Walden, I was an employee, but I only got paid once a month. So I said to myself, well, if Walden University can pay once a month, then I can pay once a month. So we match our payroll to our accounts receivable. So if you start working with me on 1 May, you get paid the end of May. I'm not going to run payroll every week. I don't have to. And then you're not waiting too long for your pay. And why is Walden able to do it, but I can't? Come on. That's ridiculous. I don't know what to say about that. I don't like dibs. So that's all I got for right now. That's right. I'm not here to play Nevada. We have about 100 people, give or take, you know, it's up and down. Does the government require small business have insurance? Can I use my subs? It depends. Excuse me, 3 Titan. It depends. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Nikki? Her name is Nikia. She was amazing. I'm going to go to some of the earlier. I'm just going to scroll question. Okay, great. See some of the earlier comments. I had a few jobs that were hired through them, had a temp side and a placement side. Very true. Okay. Someone earlier asked, how do I work with recruiters? I would like to know how. We have a recruiter on our staff. So anytime we are looking to fill certain positions, we bring the recruiter on and they charge us hourly. Let me take it back. I think we've negotiated a flat rate. I'm not involved in that, so I can't really answer everything. But Joy Millhouse. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And also as a friendly reminder, if you want your question answered immediately, you know, do a super chat, then I know, otherwise it's going to get lost in everything. Okay, great. Let me take a photo of that. I love that you finished the book today. Let me take a photo. I love you guys so much. Oops. I love you guys so much. And then I mess up the photo. Okay, great. Do you have a mentorship program? We do. We're going to have a challenge, and then we're going to have an upsell. We have a lot coming out. Okay. So I appreciate your patience. I have a lot going on. I've had some things happen in the past few weeks that are, whew, I can't say it. This wasn't even like, you know, it's like, oh, I didn't see it on the bingo card. Y'all, it was coming out soon, Jalen. Didn't even see this. It's amazing. You know, I'm just like, it makes me tear up when I think about it. It's going to change my life. It's going to change the other people's lives too. But whew. Somebody's going to be working a lot. Okay. So Hector, maybe I should rename this Crying and Pricing Government Contracting. Enough is enough. But that's why it's enough is enough. It's emotional. You know, it may seem like, well, this is just business and it's numbers, but there's a lot more to it. What was the hardest lesson you learned? Oh, you know, somebody said this to me. I think it was yesterday. Because I used to have a different answer for this. And they were like, Kizzy, you don't have a financial block. He's like, you have no problem with that. Winnerswaybook.com. Winnerswaybook.com. I'm here. I live here in Mexico. I had one copy. I lent it. I don't have a copy. I don't have a copy of my own book. Winner's Way Book. Normally I flip it. Winnerswaybook.com. Winnerswaybook.com. So this person said to me, they were like, Kizzy, you don't have a money making or money block. He's like, it's an emotional, psychological kind of block that you've had in your life. And I was like, well, yeah, that's why I'm into Tulum, you know, but it really hit me. It was freeing. It was like jarring because they haven't known me well. It was a lot of things. So to answer your question, that was the hardest lesson, because normally I would have just said, Hector, like, oh, the hardest lesson I learned was things about myself and this fear, this thought of scarcity. And I'm like, no, the hardest lesson was learning that I was the block the whole time. And not the block like in rap songs or hip hop, you know, of course, but like I literally was the blockage. Like I knew it and I felt it, but like hearing this person say it, I was like, oh no, like this person's right. They're right. So while it's a hard lesson, it's not like surprising. It's an apropos lesson, because this is something that I've worked on and like I'm not like that anymore. That's why all these things are changing, right? So that's why I also talk a lot about inner child, inner teen work. I'll pull out my oracle cards. I don't have them on right now, but I'll wear crystals. Like everything that I share is who I am and is part of my journey. You all get the about $1 million I put into education, into training and development over the past 2 years. You get all of that. From the Grant Cardone coaching, Elena Cardone, to Myron, to Cardone Ventures, to my YouTube coach, to this coach, that coach, my fitness coach, like VQ does Reiki with me. I mean, like, I'm not playing the hood healer. Y'all know I love me, my hood healer. Tiffany, Amon. I mean, I'm shouting them all out. Because at the end of the day, it was me. I was the block. Psychologically. There are times I was desperate in the past. There are times I doubted myself in the past. So, but it ended up being a beautiful lesson. And I do see the super chat luxury. Okay. So thank you. Do you use a client? That's a really good question. Excel. We use Google Docs. Google Docs. Winner's Way Book, Hector, Winner's Way Book. So, okay, Jean Benet. So when it comes to this, twofold, what you believe you will achieve. So if you think the easiest contracts are oil and gas, then you'll win in oil and gas. Like I know Antonio mentioned he coaches, he mentioned one of his students won oil and gas, which is beautiful. However, you got to make sure that they're buying the oil and gas or not, or you just have a contract where nobody's buying anything, right? I like contracts where they're buying the thing. Like HVAC, they need HVAC. They need roofing. They need staff. You know, not like, oh, well, we bought it and we don't really need it anymore. Okay, winnerswaybook.com. Thank you for relating to me. Yeah, I mean, it's how it's been, but it's not like that anymore. Like for real. Like that's what's beautiful about this. It's like, and I know it's not a coincidence with everything that's happening, because this couldn't have happened to me when I was in Tulum in October. It couldn't have happened to me when I wasn't sober. It couldn't have even happened to me in January. Favorite quote: figure out the role you play in your own suffering. That's a very good quote. But I would add, sometimes people don't realize they're suffering because we're taught the same things. Oh, you need to get a job and have a 401k and buy a house and have some kids. Oh, you need to buy the latest and greatest. Oh, you need to go on your trip to Cancun. And in reality, you may be suffering or maybe sad, or who knows. I was super sad. I didn't realize I was suffering that bad. It's like in a special announcement, Nate Dogg. It's just special notice. It's like they're giving you information. They're like, whoop, whoop, special announcement. That's what they're doing. I mean, pretty much. If Nate, listen, if there's one you want me to look at, or maybe I'll pull one up, let me know, because I want to talk about pricing, but we can moving in. And Kizzy, the D collagen is popping. Oh wow, your change in body's really showing. Oh, and I appreciate you, Bray, for having some couth about that. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. What did you miss, Eden? You can watch replay. You got it all. Okay, so let's look up one. Let's do two things. Let's look up special notice. So I'm going into sam.gov and I'll show you all, so you don't think I'm going on TikTok or something. And let me take that off. And a friendly reminder, if you want me to immediately answer a question, just pay whatever and I'll answer it. It's just saying, because there's so many things, and I love and adore each and every one of you. And I really also, please like, please subscribe, please share. I would love for us to get to 100,000 subscribers this year. It's my ultimate goal. I know where I want to place the silver play button. I want to put it above my couch in Michigan after I parade it around here in Tulum. I ain't gonna lie. I remember Will Smith's son, I think he had a gold record or something, and he went to he was at the Met Gala, I believe, and he like took it with him. I don't know if he had it on a chain, but he like had it with him, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna do with my silver play button. I'm gonna do that. Okay, thank you, Melanie. Let's get the question. What's the name of the oracle cards you use with the City Girls? Oh, okay, hold on, Melanie, hold on. I like to reference the City Girls. I love the City Girls. The oracle cards, they are on Etsy. It's Tiffany Powers. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, y'all. Hold on, because this is the one. I don't know. Hold on. Etsy, Tiffany. Please give us something pop. Okay, there we go. Woo, I was like, please don't give us something crazy on my search. Okay. So I'm going to give you the link. Okay, great question. So, neckline. I was like, oh, you got all medical. So Bray's over here staffing medical people. Excuse me. Oh my God, I got hair everywhere. Oh, thank you. Okay. So let me get, oh my gosh, hair is everywhere, y'all. How do I copy this? Okay, well that's okay. I'll type it in by hand. Whew, let me do, maybe it'll just pop up. There's a lot of type in there. Thank you, but I appreciate you all noticing. Okay, notice type special. Okay, bam. N00173. Boy, hold on, Nate Dog. I'll go to yours in a second, but I want to show you. So special notice. So they're telling you, if you want to be considered, this is what you want to do. So it's similar to like an old school memo or Oh, I passed it. Okay, which one's it? What's one? Tell me, Nate, which one's it? Hold on. It was N00, N00173, N00. Oh, the elevator. Let's do it. Elevator. So special notice, they're doing a sole source. So it's like the person you were dating, and then all of a sudden they're like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but I'm getting married next week. And you're like, I'm sorry, what? I thought we were dating. Yeah, it's sole sourced. Cardi B in the city. Yeah, no, I love Cardi B. That's my girl. Because it's true, so much people, and the crazy thing is, like, when Cardi B is like, you're in my DMs, and then you all come together against me. Like, it's really crazy. Like, you send me emails, but then you post stuff. You write me stuff about your contract wins, but then you try to scam my Facebook group. Or you claim you won something, but then I go to interview you and you don't really follow up. Or I am interviewed by you, but then you think you can bamboozle me and copy all of my thumbnails. Don't think I don't take notice. I'm not going to call these people out. They know who they are. And what's sad about it is God has given us all gifts. We all have gifts. Ain't no reason to do all this. I have all the receipts. I was raised by Arthur Parks. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. I have all the receipts. So keep it coming. I got the text message when you asked me out for lunch, although you probably had somebody in your life. Oh, and I was married at the time. Like you didn't know. So I didn't play with that. I did not step out on my marriage. Okay, I'm not implying my ex did. I'm just saying I don't play around with stuff. But people like y'all, like Lori, like Cardi B said, like Becca Lee said, enough is enough. Thank you, Richard. Thank you for emailing me. No, it's true. I mean, I'm just saying, they know what's up. Evil always have something valuable. So this right here, it just means they're sole sourcing it. So I know, Nate Dogg, you got it. Let me stop sharing screen. Y'all are probably like, wow, we thought this was about pricing and we got the tea. Well, that's why it ends with enough is enough. And the thing, Bella, is we all have our gifts, and that's what's amazing. It's just be you, do your thing. Ain't no reason to come over here. Oh, I know. It's flattering, but it's also like, goodness gracious, but it's cute. I feel like Doja Cat. Cute. Jensen up on 5 wins. 5 wins. So proud of you, Jensen. I did, because people mistake the couth, the curls, the confidence for being a sucker. And it's not about dragging anybody. It's not about doing anything like that. It's not like the Glorilla JT. Like, do y'all see any of that? I was like, what is happening? Why are my girls all arguing? And or Kendrick and J. Cole. I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's so much going on. I mean, can we? And I do understand the history of music and rap, so I get it. Okay, I get it. But goodness gracious. And now Q, I love her so much. Okay. Yeah, the gift of discernment is really important. Tara, I'm so glad you got it. Well, I don't have my copy. I lent it out here in Tulum, Mexico. I know it's over 100 pages. Oh, I appreciate you, Bobby V. I'm not gonna post it because I'm family friendly right now. Okay. Okay, so I guess Armando had, I'm assuming, and you know what? We haven't touched upon this, so let's do it. How do y'all know how to find out what the previous contract was? I'm gonna take this off. Let me know. Do y'all, oops, hold on, let me hide everything. Do you all know how to find what the previous pricing was? So let's go back to this one. These 3 people were already there. One way that you find out is you literally call and email the point of contact, and you do the following. You ask them, is there an incumbent? If so, who are they? What's the contract number? What's the contract award? So this is actually happening with something that I am currently bidding on. The contract award, I want to say it was 3.9 for over 5 years. So they included it in the Q&A. So now I know by doing the math, 3.9 over 5 years, I have an average. And I said I was going to share with everybody, how do you handle escalation? How do you handle escalation? And you know, deep into this video, I'm talking about how you handle escalation. So whether it's lawn service, it's staffing, it's this, it's that, what typically people do is they add 1 to 10% every option year. So base year, boom. Option year 1, 1 to 10%, boom. Option year 2, 1 to 10%, boom. And on and on and on and on. Roger is so funny. That's my team, MD and Zohar. They're amazing. So then when you find the pricing, whether it's from the contracting officer, it's FPDS, it's USA Spend, it's SAM.gov, you can work it backwards. So I know 3 point something million, I divide it by 5, and I believe there's 12 people. So my math came up to, I think it was like 50,000 a person, give or take, is what they were billing per person. And so, and I said, give or take. And when you look at this, you know, they're bidding 79. So I may go back and run my numbers again, because then that means the people are going to be paid. Maybe they're paid closer to 20, 19, 20 an hour. I don't know. Or maybe they don't have as many expenses. So it allows you to practice your elementary, middle school, and high school math skills when you find out the amount. Let's say we're talking lawn service. Actually, let me give you housekeeping, janitorial, because this comes up a lot. Like, Kizzy, I got the number and they said it was 53,000. That can't be for 5 years. Why can't it be? Are you paying a ton of money? Are you, first off, are you even paying for anybody to clean your house? I mean, second, let's say that's $10,000. The numbers I just gave out get average to like 10.6 a month. I mean, a year. Well, what if they're only cleaning once a week? Nobody's over here just throwing out money to people, to domestic employees. So the other part of this is you have to accept the number. If you want to add a 50% profit, by all means, you're probably not going to win, but you can do it. You just need a CADES code in your profile if you can. Thank you guys for the response. Thank you, Kizzy Alpha. Okay, good, Armando. So you can find it by asking contracting. You can find it by looking online. Third is, they may say, well, this is our first time buying this. Well, guess what? You still look online. Or if it's like a really weird labor category, you go on the links that were shared. You look to see if somebody posted the pay in the job announcement or a job opening placement. Yeah, but even if it's big buildings, nobody's paying that much, Armando, for windows to be cleaned. Twice a year, I don't know, what is that? $30,000, $15,000? It can't be that much money. Yeah, nobody said you're going to buy a yacht by selling janitorial services. My colleague David, he has made over, I think he made over 30 million last year. He has over 500 contracts. He's bidding on an insane number of his team is opportunities every month. Because going back to the doors example, if you're, I mean, he's making way more than 200 per contract, but like you got to look at what is your profit per contract. So to get to the multi-millions, you need hundreds of contracts. Are you guys tracking with me? It doesn't mean that you add a 90% profit. It means you have to increase your volume. Right. So, and then Tinkerbell, you get to choose your business model. We don't go that route. We have the route of, yes, we have some middleman work and training development, etc. But we like bigger contracts. We like multi-year contracts. We like multi-million-dollar contracts. That's just us. The answer is not one or the other. In my opinion, it's both. It's both. I like both. Y'all know, because I'm drinking coffee now again, because he has a team, Nate. Not 500 in one time, but like 500 total. What happens when you have a team? Hold on, I'll get to that in a second. Like for me, I like an Americano and then I order a side of espresso. There's something satisfying about like when I'm halfway done with the coffee, like pouring the rest of the espresso in there. And plus it reminds me of back in the day when I wasn't sober. So, just how I am. Okay, so Denise, and don't forget, if you want your question immediately answered, please add some money in there and I'll get on there fast. Is there solicitation? Okay, if there's only one attachment is a list of items they need, what would I include on the proposal? I would need to see the link, Denise. It doesn't sound like they need something. Shoshana, it could be one contract. It could be one contract. It depends on what you're selling and your profit margins. Okay, always go higher. So I have a home in Michigan. You can go on any contracts you want. You don't have to live in Michigan to go on contracts in Michigan. You can go on any kind of contracts you want. Yeah, my coffee's black. I mean, I picked it back up. I needed the caffeine. So Harish and everybody else, we're going to have a challenge coming out soon. That's all I can tell you. Okay. So we talked about staffing. We talked about 1099. We talked about products. We talked about middleman, subcontracting services. We talked about how you find out what people are charging. We talked about even how you find people. We even talked about market rates. The other piece of this is you have to learn, apply, and adjust. Learn, apply, and adjust. Because you may find, hey, you know what, for HVAC, adding a 40% profit margin, every time I bid with Air Force, they take it. But with the Army, I need to lower it to 10%. You guys, you understand? Did you get what I just said? You're going to start to notice trends, like bottles of water. If you're leaving a sporting, or you're at a sporting event, you're at a concert, you're at an airport, they can charge you almost $10 for a bottle of water because they know you're apt to pay it. But if you run into the water boy or woman, usually it's a boy or a guy. Like I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really seen any water girls. I'm just keeping it real. But you run into a water boy, he is not going to be like $10. I have never run into a water boy offering water for $10. They may say it's $1. They may say it's 50 cents. They may say it's $2 because they're running up to you as you're in your car and you may be apt to pay it for whatever reason. Does that resonate with everyone? If it does, let me know. Like right below, give a badge, just some kind of feedback. I am bidding on a contract where contracting officer confirmed there's an incumbent. Joy, I would not bid on that. That's like the person that's like, are you single? Well, what do you mean well? First off, how are you going to answer a question like that? Either you're single or you're not single. All this in between, next, don't bid on it. Okay, does checking FPDS for old contracts help? Yeah, it helps. Okay. 8% profit margin for can negotiate. No, you can negotiate you can put in any margin you want. What I'm saying to you is you're going to learn, apply, and adjust. The more and more you bid, the more you're going to learn what you can properly add as your profit. You're going to learn and learn and learn what people should be charging for fencing. What does booth mean? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know what that means, because I feel like I'm out of pocket. I'm not not out of pocket. Like I don't know everything here. Tell me what that means. So let's go to real estate, because somebody early asked about real estate. So right now there's an opportunity. I think it's to house 4 people. So like let's say you find the perfect place for it, and they want to charge you $2,000 a month. Okay. So you're like, man, I'm gonna charge them 10. By all means, charge the federal government $10,000 a month to rent this place. Oh, both. Yeah, both. They may pay it. They may pay the 120. They may not, but you'll quickly learn. So speaking again, and I'll get your question, Jordan, in 1 second. Okay, just give me 1 second to finish this point. Actually, no, let me get yours and then I'll finish your point, because this is more important. You paid me. Super chat. Okay, question about how to price leases in real estate. Okay, good. See how that worked? I'm talking about it. So this is perfect. So right now, somebody wrote me and they were like, hey, I bid on this real estate opportunity. And it was another one. It was like you had a house, maybe 4 people or 5 people. I think it was something like that. 4 people or 5 people. This person who wrote me went the approach of like 3 or 4 apartments. The winning bid found 1 house. So the winning bid was lower and everybody was together. So they went with that bid. So Jordan, it's the percentage that you want to add. I feel like with real estate, the sky's the limit. You could probably add 50%. I think what makes the difference is what you're pitching. Like with real estate in general, you know how people are like, staging is so important, and put vanilla in the oven so it smells like cookies are baking. I don't know. This is from what I've learned on TV. I own all my property. I haven't sold any of my properties, so I don't really know. What I do know is this. You take those concepts from real estate and you put them in the proposal. Here's the laundry services. It's energy efficient, and we will include endless detergent, energy or all natural detergent. You know, it's, hey, we're going to provide you with blank sheets and endless towels, and here's a picture of this. Here's what all the bedrooms look like. And I mean, you can tell I'm really good at this, but you're getting the point. Is like you're taking what you do. Hey, look at this. Open the closet. Take a look at here. You're taking all of that and you're putting it in your proposal. So then as they read it, it's like, oh, okay, so the pricing may be a little higher, but we don't have to pay. Basically, they just got to throw their clothes in there. They don't have to pay for anything. They don't have to pay for detergent. They don't have to pay for dish soap. They don't have to worry about housekeeping, because you're going to come in once a week or twice a week. You see what I mean, Jordan? Does that help? So I know you said for office, and I'll get to office in a second. So I'm speaking more on the residential side for government. So for office, it's the same thing, except for laundry. You would sub, hey, we're going to do cleaning. I'm going to provide tissue. We're going to provide Wi-Fi. We're going to provide a printer. Like you're pitching it and showing to them, this is the best solution for you. Okay? Let me know if that answers your question. If no one is bidding on solicitation, no. Not if you're not technically acceptable or your pricing is crazy. No, not at all. And this actually came up on my TikTok live Monday through Thursday. Usually, Jonathan Lulu, sometimes he comes on, sometimes he doesn't. He actually talked about this. Yeah, good. And again, Jordan, learn, apply, adjust. You're going to figure it out. Like you may see, hey, with office space for Homeland Security, I can triple my profit. But for office space for Marines, I can only do a 10% profit. Like you're going to start to notice trends, just like businesses. McDonald's knows the profit margin for every single thing they have, every square foot. There's a lot. We have $1 million contract for training. My students go on my channel. There's $1 million contracts for feeding vets, housing vets. There's $1 million contracts for training, janitorial, depending. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot there, but it's always about your profit. Say you find the company that won the contract last time. Would it be smaller? Call them and ask questions. So Armando, if you won the contract last time and I call you and ask questions, are you going to answer me? I'm not going to pick up the phone. I'm just going to, this actually happened to me. It was a few years ago. Somebody called me up and asked me a bunch of questions, or they said something and I just played. Why am I going to give you any insider information? It would be as if like, Tampa Bay called up the Kansas City Chiefs and they're like, hey, we got questions for you. I don't know how coaches and all of that works. I mean, I've never played professionally. I did train at a place called Core Fitness in Miami Beach with professional athletes like Jeff Green. But I just don't imagine that the Kansas City Chiefs is like, yeah, this is what we did. It's how we win Super Bowl championships. You see what I mean? So no, it's you got to be creative. That's all I'll say here. And we probably will be ending soon. It's getting to be that hour, and we have an eclipse, which will be a good way to kind of conclude things for the night. Armando, it's not a dumb question. I don't want you to think that my reaction thought it was a dumb question. So please don't think that. There's no dumb questions here. I just want to give you an example of that. Because that comes up. Sometimes people say, well, why wouldn't I contact the incumbent and see if I could partner with them? You could. And listen, Armando, you could call them up and maybe you get some employee that spills the tea and wants to tell you everything. Because it's all about the approach that you take. Now, some people do that. They will call and get an employee to spill the tea. But there's more to that, and it's not for me to go into on this video right now. Okay? So does that make sense, Armando? Let me know. I saw janitorial for 10 years for only 1,000. What do you mean for only 1,000? I don't understand you mean by this 1,000. And again, Armando, okay, good. Okay, good. Let's see what else we have. Your consistency is contagious. I've been bidding to be part of your team since the Hawaii volcano. I have biomass tech. Cool. Well, Daniel, keep bidding on this oil and gas and other things like that. Hold on. What is the cost? What is the average percentage cost of a leasing space? What do you mean average percentage cost? Like square foot, per square foot? You got to break it down for me. Yeah, Pillsbury cookies. Okay. So we're at that point. I love and adore each and every one of you. Put it in the Facebook group. Let me give you guys the Facebook group link. It will be coming up soon. So what I want you all to walk away from with this is I gave you definitely a lot of diamonds, spilled a little tea, because remember, this is pricing government contracts. Enough is enough. Talked a lot about a lot of things, shed some tears, definitely joyous. And I want to say this, that this is a space for all of us. There are never any dumb questions. None of us are dumb. We're all amazing and blessed. This is a space full of abundance. Whatever you believe is easy will be easy. It should, Roger. It should stay up. I don't think I violated any rules this time. So Lakeisha, I honestly, the last notary one, was it notary or was that courier? I honestly, I haven't even seen any notary for the federal government. Okay, before I go into my conclusion, a lot of people ask about call centers, notary, box trucks, and simplified acquisitions. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you've been lied to. Because I don't bid on government grants, Nate, and because people lie about that too. This is how government grant works. You have a program to reduce homelessness, or actually the term is on-housed population. That's what the term they use in California, on-housed population. So you have a nonprofit. And so you're like, man, I would love some more money so we can provide more blankets, provide some tents, maybe provide food, maybe partner with a vocational program or partner with like a mental health group. So you would apply for a grant to help with your nonprofit. There's this misbelief that there's like grants to help your business or micro purchases floating around like butterflies. There's all these notary contracts and courier contracts and box truck contracts and call center contracts. And what it is people getting you to pay them money and they sell you lies. So with grants, you go to grants.gov, or you look, there are business grants, but they're typically through like Facebook, Spanx, different groups. They may offer a grant, like $5,000 for this, $10,000 for this. We're having American Express small business owner grant. That's how grants work. It's like on the business level, it's like a smaller amount that's put together by some organization or maybe a nonprofit. But for these government grants, they tend to be for a program because they want to see a return on investment. The return on investment isn't you made more money for your business. The return on investment is they decreased the on-housed population. It's all lies. Portia, does the government have call center contracts? Yes. Yes. One of the top accounting firms has the contract with DLA. But for the way that people talk about it, it's not what you think. So at the federal level, the state may have a variety of other call centers, but I'm letting you know it's not what they're telling you. Right. It's for like existing programs research, or you try a private group, publicly traded company that's helping for businesses. It varies. It all varies. Okay, so let's look at this one before we go. 2517. Well, what are your utility costs? What are your janitorial costs? I think it's more than $17 a square foot, unless that $17 is included, unless all of those things are included in your $17, which it doesn't sound like it is. You got to add in all your expenses. First and foremost, identify your expenses, figure out how you're going to stand out, make sure it's in a safe neighborhood, and you got to sell it like you're trying to get a date. What? Candy, they don't exist like that. Is this person like spamming me? Or it just went down. Okay, good. So if the government has a need for a call center, they put it on sam.gov. So you tell me how many call center gigs you find on sam.gov. You're not going to really find any. Because all the people talking about call centers, box trucks, notary, courier, what was the other one I forgot, y'all? Box trucks, notary, courier, call center, small micro purchases. It's all lies. It just is what it is. And what did Cat Williams teach us on Club Shay Shay? Liars lie, because that's what they do. Oh, great. She looks for scholarships on Google. She works while she's in school. She follows the sprinkle life. Okay. What's up from Japan? Y'all know you're going to get the honest answer from me. Right? Y'all know this. What's the percentage of one getting their first contract and just starting? Depends on you. Depends on you. I just interviewed a woman, her first real bid, she won it. It's for, I think it's lawn services. But if you think like it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard. Okay, what happened to Lufulo? Did you get your answer? You good? We all good? Are we all good? What's up, Abe? Yep, Curly's here. Are we all good, y'all? Are we all feeling that we're in a good place? We understand pricing government contracts. Enough is enough. There's a lot of lies out there about what's out there, how you price, all of these things. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors. It boils down to what are your expenses? What is your profit? Period. That's all it is. Now there's some things in between, but that's what it is at the end of the day. And the profit is based on you, what the market will bear, what the agency will bear, what they paid in the past, their budget, and so on and so forth. A lot of these things you're not going to know, but it's just like cards. You know how to play spades. You know how to play Uno. There may be 3 of you that know how to play euchre because that's my game. It's no different. I don't know what cards my opponents have when I play euchre, but doesn't mean I'm not going to take that book. Doesn't mean I'm not going to win. Okay, so let's get Jordan's question. I'm going to talk about the eclipse because this is serious. And I'm going to get ready for bed because I have to work out at 10, which is early for me. Okay. Is there anything we should consider when dealing within a government agency using a publicly traded company? What do you mean when using a publicly traded company as their broker? There's a lot going on with that, Jordan. I need more context. Is there anything we should consider when dealing with a government agency using a publicly, like what are you using, like Zillow? Like what do you mean? You need to log in. You need to log in and go under entity search. Tell me what you mean by that. Because to me, the biggest concern is you don't want that publicly traded company to try and take your work. But I just need more context. I got 3 in a possible. Awesome, Daniel. I don't know what do you mean by 3 in a possible? Like you won 3? Let me know. Okay, let me know, Jordan. I'm not going to go till you clarify. What are you doing in a situation where you have 2 quotes and they're vastly different in the amounts being asked? You pray. You try and find a 3rd quote. You take the average of the 2. Wow, Daniel's so sweet. Love it. Hold on, I know I'm waiting for you, Jordan. I'm waiting for you. Okay, good. We're waiting on Jordan. So as we're waiting on Jordan, I'm going to, spades, 3 and a possible. Oh, okay. I play euchre. I mean, I play spades, but I'm more of a euchre person. I'm from Michigan. Where are local and state contracts found? You can pay for portals to look, or you can go to each state. They each have their own portal. Okay. Dang, Jordan, you better come. I want you to come back. I want to know. I need to know. It's like the TV show ended and I have to wait a whole year. I feel like Stranger Things. I need to know what's up. If looking for lease spacing, do you recommend we let the realtor know? Why not? They're always going to get paid. Oh, while we wait, I got my cage. That's so amazing. I'm so proud of you. Okay. Ultimately, it's yes. Yes. And to Alan's point, you have to be prepared because you don't want to go with the low price. And then what if the low company is unavailable? Oh, look at Bray. Bray plays some euchre. That's what I'm talking about. But you don't want to go with the high price because it may be too high. Right? Here's a quick example. So I met with a fencing company. Pray, love it. Yes. It's true. You got to pray first. I mean, it's what I do. Oh, there we go, Jordan. Good. Oof, I was getting worried. A 3-letter agency hired a big broker to represent them in the deal. And that's who we have to submit the bid to. Found out they're possibly trying to give to people in other large leasing companies. Where is this 3-letter agency? Is this not on SAM? Is this through a contract vehicle? Is this full and open? I would need a contract number because maybe what they're doing is acceptable. And it may be that. Maybe they're cool with it. Again, I look at it like dating. If the person is like, listen, I don't want to be with you, then They don't want to be with you and they're searching for somebody else. They say they like people with short hair. There you go. Okay, I need a link. If you send me a link, I can take a look. A phone. Yeah, just put the link in here. I've been cleaning windows since 14. I have contracts for analysts. Yeah, you can list all of that, Armando. Go after that window washing one that you like. You can, yeah, there's no reason you can't win it. It's full and open. Yeah, it's full and open. So then of course they're going to try and go with a big company because it's full and open. What's up, Tim? I mean, I personally wouldn't even get involved. Does that make sense, Jordan? I would pass on it. Okay. The mostly staffing. They're there. Wahaba. They're there. So, okay. You go to the website for the state and you Google how to, actually, let me just show you. You got to Google it. So this is what we have in Florida. dms.myflorida.com, My Florida Marketplace. Vendors. So the same thing exists for every single state and territory. So then you have to look them up and you have to register. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you do. Like, again, I want you to ask questions. All questions are welcome. I'm just letting you know that, especially at the state level, I still do have a contract there. I do. At the state level, it's oh my God, I got discombobulated. At the state level, in order to see most of the state level opportunities, you need to pay. You need to join some platform. The SBA may offer something for free, but at the end of the day, you got to pay. Oh, okay. Tim Crow. No, you don't need to do any of that, Tim. Okay. You don't need to do any of that. Okay, I'm glad you signed up for the site visit. Very proud of you. It's winnerswaybook.com, and I let somebody borrow my copy. So, okay, winnerswaybook.com. Called Waste Management. Account manager got smart with me and turned around to ask for you, and told me no bid if she saw us total small business. What do you mean and told me no bid? She's not a small business. What do you mean they told me no bid? Or is this still married? Okay. Then told me no bid after she saw it was a total small business. That means she still didn't give you the pricing? Let me know. As fast as you want it to be. I mean, listen, if you're in a position where you can't pay your bills, and I'm not saying Kaya, that you can't pay your bills. This is for anybody here. If you're in a situation where you're homeless, you can't pay your bills, you're like in this position, if you need money now, you need to have multiple jobs. Like, the answer is not a government contract. It's not starting Amazon shipping company. What? Okay, one more. Well, within a few weeks. You just don't want to bother them. Don't want to bother them. Okay. I'm so glad you got the book over the weekend. Let me take a photo of this. I love it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's okay. That's okay. It happens. You're just a perfectionist and you get caught up in it. Just calling it out. I mean, I know I'm not wrong, but yeah. But you got to overcome that. I overcame it. She told me she wouldn't give me a quote because she was a large business, so it would be the promise. She would be the sub. Well, next time, try Republic. They're a waste management. Try a mom and pop waste management. Again, I'm glad you purchased the book. I understand it was your first one, but you can't be a perfectionist. Doesn't matter if it's your 8,000th one. Perfection doesn't do anything. It's just a form of control, and it's rooted in insecurity. I'm excited to learn to get contracts. Me too. I am too. So everybody will be notified, Harish. You all will be notified so much, you're going to say, this lady is amazing. Let me buy everything. So, y'all, the eclipse is here. It's coming. So this is a great time for you to manifest. This is a beautiful time for you to put out what you desire and to push away what you don't want. It could be a friend, family member. It could be something you listen to, something you read, whatever it is. This is a great time to manifest. I firmly believe in the power of manifesting. I've experienced it here in Tulum. I haven't even been here 3 months. And so much has happened. Now, if this is not for you and you're like, eclipse, that's what, okay, then that's cool. Content, yes. Well, for myself, not really for other people. So what I firmly believe that you should do is you express what you want to manifest. In a mirror, you say it out loud, you write it down. I have what I want on my board to the left. I have it up there. I call it a board, it's the wall. Okay. And also, there's new things that have come up that I don't want to go into. It'll make me cry some more. And it's part of, I guess, this is part of everything. So we have that. But what's really amazing that I have found with this eclipse is just letting it go and to take in the lesson. You know, for instance, if you have that friend that's like super negative and super gossipy and maybe they're always down and out and you keep trying to help them. Maybe you said, hey, check out Kizzy's content, or hey, get a new job, or hey, maybe you change your life partner, or hey, maybe you get a new apartment. And every time you try to lift them up, they have another reason to just go back down and try and take you with them. The eclipse is the perfect time to say, peace be with you. I'm definitely an empath. Peace be with you. So I pray and desire amazing things for each and every one of you. Lots of success, lots of abundance, giving you love and light. And because I always do like to talk about my degree. It's in industrial organizational psychology. So talk about signs later. And what's key is throughout this eclipse is it's not a one-time thing. It's not like, oh, well, I made a list, check. I said some things in the mirror, check. It's then you have to take action. And this is where it gets a little dicey. Because we want everything yesterday. And I'm not saying that you can't win a contract like that. I'm not saying that. Y'all know I already believe you can win one easily because it happens all the time. But as far as all that you desire, it takes some time because we're learning. Every single situation and instance, we're learning from it. You know, there's some things I've recently gone through and I'm kind of like, dang. But you know what? I'm learning from it. I'm like, okay, right now I feel like, dang. But I know in a few months, I'm going to be so grateful for it. How do I know this? Because one of the best ways to help lift yourself up is you think back to a similar situation or where you felt the same way. And so for me, it was like 2021. There was this personal situation that happened and I was really heartbroken. And I mean, I was a mess. It was really, looking back, it was so funny. And this person is so dusty. So it's really funny to not only look back and be like, wow, I was so heartbroken over this dusty person. And but here's the deal, because it has nothing to do with them. I grew significantly because of it. And I understand why I did the things that I did. Okay? I understand why. This is amazing. Okay, so I'm so proud of you. So here's what I want you to do. Okay. I would love to interview you, Shimei. So send an email. Okay, I want you to everybody's gonna email her. Email Kayla and tell her, Kayla and tell her, Kayla at kizzyparks.com. Tell her to set up an interview with us. I have to see your picture. Hopefully apparently I helped. So that's amazing. She said, I don't know if you remember me, but I asked you questions September 23 about how to win. I got awarded more than 200K in awards in the last 6 months. I'm so proud of you because you took action, and that's what this is about. Right now, the eclipse and everything is about taking action. It's learning. And even if you're in this space of like, it feels icky or weird, or you're questioning yourself, or you're trying to hold on to who you once were, just reflect on those times where you overcame. That's what I do. Oh, okay. Oh, I love that. Eclipse. You got to eclipse these people out. Eclipse them out. Oh, you can win some contracts. There's no reason you can't. It's a time for rebirth, rejuvenation, 2 eclipses in a short time. I am in period of resurrection. I agree with you, Sharon. It's so true. Eli Million. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you like it. You know, Portia, I got to throw in our girl. You know what's up. The people who know what's up. It's like with anything. I like to make a lot of references. There's tons of layers to this tons of layers to this beauty, as I try to say this with a straight face. It makes me all laugh and makes me really happy. So I ask that you all believe in yourselves as much as I believe in you, because I know you can do these things. I know this is about pricing government contracts. Enough is enough. But it's still bigger than pricing. You still have to believe you can do it. You have to like shake off all those things. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold up. Nope. Shoot. Yes. And a new moon. Hold on. I got to block somebody. I got to do a little block party. Oh. Okay. I think we're good now. Okay, good. There we go. Took a couple steps. Okay, I won my first contract Hector when I was in grad school, so my story's a little different. Okay. Great. We in the collective have experienced the dusty musty as you have. Yeah, I mean, they're always around. And, I pray for them and wish them the best, because the greatest thing about this world is you can evolve and you can change. So the thing about the debrief is, as soon as you found out that you didn't win, you need to immediately ask for debrief. That's so amazing, Isabel. Listen, third is better than nothing. And also feel free to ask them for a debrief. What do you mean nobody knows how this really works? I just broke down how this works. What do you mean? Okay. It's governing hard. Just knows the ropes. There's no class about this other than what she's teaching her. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I attacked you. I went hard. Sorry. I went a little hard. It's government contracting, not hard. Dr. Parks just knows the ropes. There's no class about this other than what she's teaching here. I'm a federal contracting officer rep. Sorry, D's move. Let me take back I got a little assertive with you. I appreciate that. It was really nice for you to say. Let me take a photo. I love that. We learned about the hallway conversation today. Yeah. What about if you won? What do you mean if you won? You celebrate. Dee's move, if you ever want to be interviewed as a core, let me know. So again, embrace this eclipse. Embrace everything I've said. You got a lot of cool things. Thank you all for the gifts. Thank you all for your presence. Thank you all for liking, subscribing, following, sharing. winnerswaybook.com. Here, I'll share the screen so you guys can see it because I lent out my copy and I don't have it on me. winnerswaybook.com. Check it out. Check it out. winnerswaybook.com. Okay, so I I was a little assertive. It was. The core ran away. Sorry about that. That's what happens. I am assertive. Assertive and cute. Oof, cuteness overload. Okay, that's fine. If they were awarded on, doesn't matter. Get a debrief if you can. No, thank you for being amazing. You do. So I love and adore each and every one of you. I'm going to call it a night so I can get ready to work out, get ready for the eclipse, get ready to check what's going on all over. Yo, we good. Oh, okay, good. Yo, so you're a dude then. You're a guy. Well, I mean, I don't know about Dee's move would be like a woman, but anyways, I'm looking at too much stuff. Okay, hallway. The book when old boy asked you to be his gov contractor. Oh, yeah. The hallway. I see what you mean. Yeah, Dr. McDonald. Oh boy, sound like me. Yeah, Dr. McDonald. Yeah. You as soon as you find out that you lost, I wouldn't ask for. Listen, some people are like, ask for a debrief when you win. We tried to do that once and they ignored us. Okay, you're a dude. Okay, cool. I'm not this saying. I love you all. I love you all. Have a good night. You're amazing. Learn, apply, adjust. Learn, apply, adjust. Everything is possible. Until next time. I know I got to figure that out with the sun. I don't even have anything tomorrow. I will figure it out. But TikTok, Monday through Thursday, pretty late. Usually after 10:30 Eastern time. No. After 11:30 Eastern time. And I usually have Jonathan, a contracting officer, Air Force, represents himself, not the Air Force, on as a guest. Not always, but a lot. Here, live Sundays on YouTube. Facebook, I tend to go live every day during the week. Instagram, hit or miss. Paid offerings are coming. A challenge is coming. I'm going to create a school community because there's so many questions and so many DMs that it's best to put it all in a paid area. Learn, apply, adjust, okay? And it's all about creating the best product for you all. I haven't done any office space yet. Learn, apply, adjust. Learn, apply, adjust. These are my words. Learn, apply, adjust. Anybody else out there saying it, stole it from me. And I will trademark it. Don't play with me and my copyrights and trademarks. The live version of you has got me to know, like, and trust you. Though I appreciate that, Daniel. I mean, hopefully you can see, like, I'm the same. There's no like, dang, Kizzy's so different. No, I'm pretty much the same. Dr. Kizzy trainer is working. I can tell, big difference. Yeah, she's a professional bodybuilder, and we are entering. It's coming out soon. I am entering a contest November 16th in Playa del Carmen. It's the transformation contest. So I'll be wearing all the bodybuilder stuff that they wear and don't wear. All of that. Sundays on YouTube, I go live. Monday through Thursday on TikTok. Usually every Monday through Friday on Facebook. And on Instagram, maybe once or twice a week, depending. All my lives are saved, minus TikTok. The TikTok lives are added as bonuses to existing products. Learn, apply, adjust. It is. It's what I've said. Somebody recently was like, oh, I'm going to use that. I said, no, you're not. Again, enough is enough. Stop trying. Stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. I appreciate you so much. But you know what the eclipse is about? Let it go. Okay. Thank you. I love you guys so much. Okay, I'm out for real. Bye. Until next time. Everything is possible. winnerswaybook.com. Winnerswaybook.